Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Angler's Logbook, and today we're out here in Lake Hawea. We're going to be targeting some fish. We've got a engagement party this weekend and I am responsible for bringing along a salmon, so we're going to head out here, see if we can catch some fish to feed the 50 people coming along to that, but we'll see how we get on. So we're just going to troll along slowly here and see what we can get into, but yeah, like I mentioned, the target fishing today is to go for some salmon, so we're just going to cruise around the lake edge here and see if there's anything floating about. But the method we're using for fishing here is a lead line. We've got a Sakuma set up here. It's really great how it has the depth counter there, so it makes it quite easy. We've got a lead line running down to a paravane and then a leader to a Tasmanian devil. We've done another video on how to troll, so if you're new to this, then you can go and check that video out for some advice. But we've had pretty good success fishing this method around here. Normally can get a few salmon cruising around, but it just depends on the time of the year out here. So we're going to see how we go today. Fingers crossed we can get some fish, but if we don't, we do have a plan B lined up for tomorrow on our way north to this engagement party. So yeah, fingers crossed we get something now, but we'll show you anything we get.
Start it up. This is lit.
We either just had something bite, or probably more likely that we just dragged the lure across the bottom. But let's see what the line does. Tip's not showing anything there, so I suspect it's just weed. Oh, keep trying. Alright, no weed on there. Put it back out and see if there's anything there. Part of the battle at the moment is we don't actually know how deep it is out here. Last week, it was before we actually went to the west coast and filmed our Jackson's Bay fishing episode, the fish finder or the depth sounder has been playing up a bit lately. It just hasn't been reading the depth or temperature, and it's a pretty new unit. We put it in when we got the boat, so at the moment you can see this is what it looks like currently. So yeah, it's not going to offer us much help today, but at least we've been fishing here quite a bit, so we know roughly what's in the area. The rule of thumb we usually work to is where it's beach like this and there's not a steep bank down into the water, it's likely that it's quite shallow for some way out from the shore. That's why we're so far out. Usually it would be probably at least half this distance in towards the shore, when it's somewhere more like probably what's up the front here that we're going to come up to shortly, up on that point up there. So it goes down to the water quite steeply, and generally up against the cliff face there it'll be quite deep. So I'd say around there it'll probably be like 50, 60, 70 metres deep, but in this shallow stuff it's probably only sort of 5 to 15 metres deep, the same distance out from the shore, and then you just get snagged up. So keep cruising along here. It's very quiet so far, no fish yet, but still got probably about 45 minutes of daylight left before it goes dark. We're just coming into daylight savings now actually. It's Easter weekend. Yeah, it's the Thursday before sort of the Easter long weekend kicks off, so we're about to hit the road, travel for this engagement party. But yes, days are getting shorter, being down here in the southern hemisphere in New Zealand, but we'll keep cruising around, see if we can put something together before we have to head back for yeah, just running out of daylight. So we'll see how we go. Otherwise there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow brings the promise of larger fish, so see how we go tonight. Oh, what was that? Fish or the bottom? I suspect that could be the bottom. I've only got about 210 feet out there, and keeping in mind that it is on that like diagonal angle going back, so it's obviously not that deep, but we are across that peak area I was just talking about, so good chance it might just be the paravein nodding on the shallow spot on the bottom there. Especially where as a fish it would probably keep going up and down and keep pulling line, so might be another false alarm. Maybe that's all we'll get tonight, is bumping along the bottom. Just one thought there is, on the lure side of things, we've got Tasmanian devil on the back, but it has only got a single hook in. We usually use trebles out here, but I wonder whether a fish has come along and grabbed that, because generally if it hits the bottom it's going to get all tangled up in weed and yeah, force us to wind in, because it'll be just dead weight on the end. But yeah, it's quite different, those two. I wonder whether something's grabbed it, not hooked up, the hook hasn't set and it's just spat it back out. So yeah, maybe there were two fish there, and we're lucking out with the hookup. So I think what we'll do, once around this point here, might wind in, swap the lure over into a treble. I've got the same colour, use a pink Tasmanian devil out on the lake, so it works really well. But I think I might switch to the trebles to try and improve that hookup rate. Well, for the 35% of you that are watching overseas, I realise you probably don't even know what a Tasmanian devil is. I suspect it would be a New Zealand term, but this is it here. You can see I'm not just making up the name, it is called Tasmanian devil, but we've got the treble hook on that one, pink and black stripes down it. But it's basically just a plastic lure with a treble hook out the back, a swivel on the top of it there, and that just wriggles through the water, and the action is what incites the predatory reaction from the fish. So we'll wind the other one in now, and we'll drop this out the back, see if we have better luck with this lure.
Gotta show respect to the people that's posted you. Soon to be on posters posted up like the older dudes. Now we aging like fine wine.
Pressure's on to try and keep the fish. I won't be able to show you the in-water action while we're trying to net it. I've only got two hands, so one for the rod and one for the net. See if we can get it to the boat, get it in, and then we'll give you a look at it.
We all got the same 24, so it's no excuse. Switch it up. We could rap or produce the things you can't have. It's forbidden fruit. It seems like people love telling lies on me. They know that I'm the one, they got their eyes on me. They know I'm here to stay, yeah, I won't leave. We
Might be a little bit bigger than I was thinking.
Watch closely.
Surfaced out there.
They don't quit us, but they still gon' pray. don't talk to me, man, you gotta show me. If it ain't ISO, then it ain't in the search isolation from all negativity. They tried over and over but can't get rid of me. We gon' do our thing until infinity. Beware the industry, please stay in control of your dignity. Yo, people fidgety, that's why they can't sit with me. They all full of bigotry, puffing on their nicotine. Stop, please, never let another man belittle me or take away my liberty and search for positivity. It seems like people love telling lies on me. They know that I'm the one, they got their eyes on me. They know I'm here to stay, yeah, and I won't leave. We do this for the fans, for your eyes only. Just watch closely, but they all gon' see. They don't.
It's not the biggest fish, but there is no size limit for the fish out here actually. Give you a look.
If it ain't ISO, then it ain't Indies, yeah.
I'll whip that hook out and kill it, and then try for another. We just saw a nice big salmon jump up out front of the boat there, so I think we're approaching like perfect bite time. It's at that point where the sun's just starting to fade. It's starting to get a little bit darker now. So fingers crossed we get something else, because although that one that we just caught, that salmon, is a beautiful eating fish and we're very grateful for it. It probably feeds about 3 or 4 people, and we've got 50 coming to this thing, so time to catch a couple more. You are allowed to keep 4 salmon here and 2 trout per angler per day. Yeah, there's a lot of fish around here, and that's a very typical eating salmon out of here, so we'll see if we can get a couple more before it gets too dark. We're just turned around and heading back towards the ramp now, so we'll see. Fingers crossed there's a couple more in it yet for tonight. Well, I think it's about time to call it. The light is fading fast, and yeah, it's getting quite dark now. Probably doesn't show very well on the GoPro, of course, because it's it kind of look like daytime, but yeah, not far off, not being able to see a thing. So just cruising this last couple hundred meters to the ramp now. So unless we catch something in the next couple hundred meters, then that will be it for today's fishing. So 1 salmon on the deck, and tomorrow we are ditching the boat. We are going to be heading north from Wanaka to give you a wee clue on where we're heading, but for all the rest of the information you're going to have to wait to see where we end up for the rest of this video. So stay tuned. Yeah, should be some more fish, definitely some more fish coming in this episode, because we've still got these 50 people to feed and that fish ain't gonna cut it.